Hey there, YouTube! Darryl back at you again for another episode of Darryl's Vape Tape. So what's up there, YouTube? How's everybody doing? Hopefully good. Hopefully wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, hopefully it's working out. Alright? Me, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the KangerTech Kbox 200. Now what a nice little device. First impressions, look at it. It's just sexy. Alright, I like the red buttons, the black look. Comes in a couple different color options. I think they got white and a silver version too. Alright, me, I'm definitely digging the black version. Alright, so I got this device in about a month and a half ago. Alright, I've had it for a long time, I know. And I have only been vaping on it exclusively for about 2 weeks now. Alright, but I've got a really good understanding of what it does, and it performs fucking well. Alright, it performs pretty well. It's a dual 18650. Does NiCi temp control? What? Yes, NiCi temp control. And, you know, the question you're asking yourself, have you tried it? I have. About 4 or 5 days ago, went out to the vape shop, got some NiCi, like 24 gauge, did like a 7-8 wrap, put it in this little Air Force, and it did really well. I mean, it did, okay? But I'm just not a NiCi guy. If you are a NiCi person, this is probably going to be the mod for you, because I'm pretty sure that this is the only NiCi temp control mod out right now. Okay, so, you know, let me just show you how it vapes real quick. Got the Air Force on there. Got a dual Clapton in there, reading about 0.27, running 90 watts. Can't fucking talk. Let's go ahead and take a vape. Yeah, it just kicks some ass, alright? And I mean, honestly, when I first looked at it, I was thinking R200. I mean, practically the same size, Kbox a little smaller, but then I put it in my hand and I started vaping on it and vaping on it and vaping on it, and it's just a lot more comfortable. I mean, it's got the rounded edges on it, rounded on the front. I mean, it feels really good in the hand. Left, right hand, it's not going to matter, alright? And it does really good, alright? So, you know, without further ado, without me talking too much about it, let's go ahead and dive down on the table and take a closer look. Alright, so we're looking at the packaging right now, and you can just see it says Kbox 200 right up top. Has a picture of the device and then a big K in the background. Alright, on the side just says KangerTech, Kbox 200, KangerTech, and made in China, just like every fucking thing else. On the back here, it's just got some information, some dimensions, characteristics about this exact mod, cautions, the barcode, QRC, or QR code for authentication. You can look that up online, alright? And then, in the box, you also get the user manual. And while we're looking at the user manual, it says Kbox 120 and Kbox 200 because those are exact same size, pretty much the exact same mods, except for the 200 has 80 more watts to go with, alright? And then this just kind of explains how to use it. They lay it all out, menu screen, what the buttons do, you know, the proper warnings. And then also on this back page right here, it explains how you get the authentication code. Also get an authenticity code using guide. It just kind of explains on both sides how to get your QR code for authentication. You also get these little black stickers. Now what you do with those is you would place those on your battery, and where it comes through the battery panel here where you can see the venting right there, you would just see black if you were to place one of these strips right here on the batteries. Alrighty, and for the star of the show, you got the KangerTech Kbox 200. And it's a really nice looking mod. I really love the look of it. It fits really good in the hand. Couple specs for you real fast. She's primarily made of zinc alloy and aluminum alloy, and 84 millimeters long by 56 millimeters wide, and she's got a 22 millimeter base. Alright, you can see right up here up top, it says Kbox 200. Right here you got a spring-loaded 510 pin. You got some battery venting holes shaped as a K right there. Bottom, a little bit more battery venting holes. It says designed and manufactured by Kanger. And right here you got a USB port for upgradable firmware. Wattage up, wattage down. Fiery buttons, really clicky, really nice fiery buttons. Now to get the back panel off, I grab the top and the bottom and pull off right here. Okay, now this is your battery panel. Plus up here, minus up here, spring loaded. Now this is a plastic, you know, but I like it that it's plastic. It just takes a lot of weight off of it, alright? So when you're putting batteries in here, plus, minus up there, and plus on this one. Now when you got them on there, to get them out, they got these little pull tabs right here. You just kind of pull on those, and there's one also inside here you just kind of pull on, and that's how you get it out, alright? So there's no battery leash on this one. And get this guy back on here. Now they got rid of the magnets on this, so there's no more magnets. This is just all pressured on there, right? But there's really no, you kind of got to pull it to get it off there, and I've had no problems with this coming off there, alright? No problems at all. Alright, and if you do have any additional problems getting the batteries out, you can just take something, push through the back right there, okay? I like that they have an alternative method. If your batteries were sitting a little snugger than maybe mine are, they have that alternative there, alright? So, got the menu screen, so why don't we go and dive down a little closer and take an up-close look at this menu screen. We took it down a little closer, turned off the light so you can see the screen nice and bright, okay? So if you press the fire button, it will say off, okay? So if it's off, you press the fire button, it's not going to let you do anything, okay? So 5 clicks of the power button is going to bring life to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. KangerTech. And you can see we're in normal wattage mode right now, okay? So you can see it's got your wattage, your voltage, your resistance, and right over there it's got your battery meter, okay? So now in standard wattage mode, it'll read all the way down to 7 watts and all the way up to 200 watts, alright? So you can scroll in 0.1 increments, or it does scroll pretty quick. I mean, it's not the fastest I ever screened, but it does get the job done, okay? So now if you press the wattage up or wattage down button at the same time, it will flip the screen for you, so all left-handers will be fine with this one. And flip it the other way, it'll go back that way, okay? So now the wattage up button and the fire button at the same time will flip. So now white's in the back and black's in the front, okay? But if you do it this way, I kind of like it this way, I prefer this one, is black in the back and white in the front, okay? So that's how the standard wattage mode. Now this is a really simple device. 1, 2, 3. We'll get into your temp mode. So you got nickel, titanium, nichrome, which is really rare on a temp control. And then you got SUS, which is your stainless steel temp mode, okay? So, you get back to the nickel. Now, you still got your temperature right here, your wattage, your resistance, and your battery meter, okay? One thing to point out while we're in temp mode is the 200 watts, you cannot adjust that. It maxes out at 200 and you cannot adjust it down or higher. You can't, it's just stuck there, okay? So that's definitely, that's definitely a con, and I'll mention that again up top, okay? But right here, you see your temperature on this side. It's not round robin, so you can't go up any higher. You have to go down, okay? So when you go down, it goes all the way down to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, so let's get it down there. Okay, so now you're here. It is round robin the other way, though. So now you're in Celsius, 230 degrees Celsius, and you can scroll it down, and you see how it just went right into Fahrenheit. So it goes all the way down at 115 degrees Celsius, but it won't go up here. So you have to go all the way down every time. So that's definitely a con, too. It's got to be round robin both ways. All right, so you'll see it go round robin right into Celsius. But then once you're on the bottom into Celsius, it'll go round robin right into Fahrenheit, okay? So, let me go ahead and get a coil on here, because the only way that you can lock a resistance in here is when you put a new tank on there, it's going to ask you right off the front, it should ask you every time, if it is a new coil. So once you have that screwed on there, new coil, yes, and it locks in the resistance for you. Now that is the only way that you can lock in the resistance. That is also another con, and I'll also mention that up top, okay? So now, unscrew this tank from here, get back into standard wattage mode, and just scroll through the settings, pressing the fire button 3 times. Now, when you have nothing screwed on here, and you press it, it just flashes that. It won't unless you adjust the watts, anything like that, alright? It's just stuck like that. You have to screw a tank on here to adjust the wattages or do anything with it, alright? But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Really simple, nice little Kanger product. So why don't we go and take it back up top? We're going to vape on it a little bit and talk a little bit more about it. Alrighty, so we just got done taking an up close and look at the KangerTech Kbox 200 watts. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot to say about it. It's a pretty badass little device. I mean, that's the first thing foremost. It looks nice and it fits really good in the hand. You know, it's really comfortable. The person that doesn't want to carry around a big mod, this is going to be the lover right here. This is the one, alright? I really like the R200 by Smock. But now that I've tried this one, you know, maybe I'll do a comparison video. I really think I like this one, just for the main fact that it's just comfortable. It just fits in the hand and it does really good. All right. So I have a fuse Clapton on here, dual fuse Clapton, reading 0.27, running 90 watts. Let me go ahead and take a vape. And it just fucking performs. I really, really like it. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into pros and cons, alright? Couple pros. The first pro for me, all my tanks, RDAs, everything fits nice and flush on there. Everything's nice and seamless, alright? The next pro for me, it's a dual 18650. Learn how to fucking talk. Firmware upgradable, which is fantastic. Alright, the mod will grow with you. Most of the devices nowadays are going to be firmware upgradable. Alright, if they're not, they're just behind in the times. Alright, I like that this one is. Okay, I haven't done it yet. I don't know what you can do with it or what it improves, but I haven't done it yet. Okay, I've just been running it just like you guys are going to pull it out of the box. Alright, the next thing I like is, of course, the size. I mean, 200 watt devices nowadays are just getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and this one just fits that small bill. It's really nice, okay? The next one, fiery buttons, nice clicky fiery buttons. No issues with those, not smushy. They're never going to stick. I just don't think this one's going to have any issues at all, alright? The next pro for me, I'm going to mention at the end of the video. That's going to be the price. So let's go ahead and jump into cons, alright? So I do have a few, alright? First con for me, I wish this glass right here was just kind of sunk down a little bit. I don't like that it's just kind of right there on the front of the, the mod. So if it falls, it's probably going to break immediately. Okay, if it was recessed just a little bit, I think it would just be a little bit more durable for the long term, right? The next con for me is, as I like the cover and the finish of the mod, I don't like that. I wish it kind of had maybe a Fat Daddy on there or something for 510. Just for the main fact that when you're screwing devices on there, I've only worked it about 2 weeks, and I can already notice there's wear when you're turning the devices on there. Okay, so I wish maybe there was a Fat Daddy on there or something that just wouldn't get scratched up and be so noticeable. All right, so that's definitely a con for me. And like I said, a lot of these are nitpicky, but they're cons. I gotta mention them. All right. The next con for me is when you're running this guy in temp mode. Alright, so you're running in temp mode. It's not round robin. Alright, so you can't round robin from 600 to 115 degrees Celsius. You can only round robin from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 315 degrees Celsius. You gotta make that round robin both ways. I mean, that's real nitpicky, but when you're scrolling temperatures, it just makes it a bitch. Alright, I just don't like it. Alright, the next one is also gonna be in temp mode, and if you have it in temp mode and the only way that you can lock in the resistance is if you screw a new device on there. Okay, if you put a new coil in there, you got to screw it on. It says, do you have a new coil on there? You press yes. That's the only way that you can lock in the resistance. I wish they could have just made it like a wattage up and a power up, and at the same time lock it in. Done. Okay, it would have just made it a little bit more simpler. All right, I don't like that. The next one for me. And this is also, like I said, they're all subjective and they're kind of nitpicky. But the next one for me is you can't not adjust the wattage when you're in temp mode. It's set 200 watts all the time, alright? So for me, like when I'm running the Hercules Plus on there, stainless steel, it's an 80 watt coil. So I don't want to run it any over 80 watts. But when you're running it in temp mode on this guy, it's going to run it 90 watts, 100 watts, whatever it needs to do to keep that temperature level. Alright, so I don't like that. I would just wish I could lock in the wattage on there. Okay, so definitely a con there. Alright, one pro that I did not mention that is a huge pro for me, it reads down to 0.05 in nickel, titanium, stainless steel, or nichrome, and wattage mode, which is a great pro for me. Some of the regular, like the fuse Clapton builds that I'm building nowadays, they're reading down to like a 0.09 for me. So most of the time I'd have to switch devices, get a device that reads down that low. This one just does it. Temp mode or wattage mode 0.05. That's a big pro. Okay. The next pro that I also did not mention is it does nichrome temp control. And I've tried it and it performs really good. I haven't got into nichrome too much. It hasn't just sold me yet. More a stainless steel guy. But that's up to you. If you guys like nichrome, this is probably going to be the device for you because it's the only device that I've found, and I've done a little bit of research, that does nichrome temp control. Okay, so that's killer. Alright? So, Anyways, I found this. The biggest pro for me is the lowest I found it is about 40 bones. So $40 for a 200 watt device, that's fucking killer. Alright, reading down to 0.05, doing all the different temp modes, that's killer. Alright, I think I found it for as high as maybe $55, 60 maybe. I'll make sure I put the lowest link down there in the bottom of the description. I'll put the lowest link in there. I want you to get it for $40. So when you order it, just hit the link down below, and it's running about $40. And they have the 3 colors, the white, the gray, and the black that I'm running here. KangerTech Kbox 200, awesome device. Definitely recommend it to any new beginner that just wants a device to get out there and try things. And then definitely somebody that's had a device for a long time, been vaping for a long time. This is a nice, small, little compact device that is just fucking killer. Alright, I really do like it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thanks for watching. If you guys liked anything today's video, make sure you guys give me a big fat thumbs up. But besides that, I'm going to close this video out with a vape. And you guys have a good night. And remember, vape on YouTube.